Morning, folks. This is Justin from the G Farm in Larson, Wisconsin, where we bring our grass-fed beef, pasture-raised pork, pasture-raised chicken, and turkey all to you online and in our meat CSA. Whatever's good for you is good for us. So, anyhow, today I had a surprise guest that stopped by the farm, and he had told me that he'd been watching us. I talked to him earlier this summer, and he asked if he had any room or if we had any ability to process any chickens for him, and I told him that to get a hold of me when he's ready, and that we have several batches going into the processor, and that I could bring the chickens along to the processor. And in doing that, he came back by maybe a month ago, and I wasn't around, and Kim talked to him and asked if we wanted to buy some hay. And on that day, I had been buying hay for the very inexpensive and low price of $3 a bale, and he wasn't interested in moving hay at that price, and that he was charging $5 a bale, which is understandable. I mean, that's reasonable too if it's really good stuff. So anyhow, he told me that he was watching me, and it sure looked like we were a small farm living off of our farm, because we have we're around, we're present, we have I don't think he's like of the age to be online or on Facebook or anything. And he went on to tell me that he did like 30 years of milking cows, and talked to him about that for a little bit, and he was just really kind of taken back by our ability to live and do farm work directly to consumers in a local economy, and to make a living from it. So we continued to talk, and he was kind of grasping. He told me that he was the senile grandpa, and we'll see if he makes it this next week. Thursday morning, we're going on our trip to bring in the chickens, and he wants to tag along. He said that he was at a grazing conference years ago, and at that grazing conference he heard of all these different concepts and ideas, and financially that they didn't I don't know that he was doing bad. He had a truck that was 11 years old, and it's not doing bad. But my point is that he saw what we're doing, and saw that we're not scraping by, but making it in a small local agricultural kind of a philosophy, and he was interested in learning more and talking to us about it, talking to me about it on our trip next Thursday morning. So I can't wait to talk with him, because nothing makes your heart feel more full than to be flattered, and he was definitely making me feel like, because of his recognition and his understanding of agriculture, to the level of milking for every day, twice a day for 30 years, he has a real understanding of what it takes to make it in agriculture. And seeing a small farm do it is contradictory to what he understood, because I think it was in the 80s or maybe late 70s, Earl Butts, who was the Department of Agriculture head, and he said that get big or get out, and that we fly in the face of that for sure. So one more cool thing that I want to show you. I was walking around here picking up a poly rope here to move the cows this morning, and while I was doing that, I found myself a 4-leaf clover, which I do find a lot. Like they're more present and available than you'd think. But I know you guys think that we just that's all we have out here are 4-leaf clovers, which isn't the case. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is all we got out here, because look at this. Walking around, I found this 4-leaf clover was sitting right here somewhere. And there's another 4-leaf clover. There's another 4-leaf clover. Was that the same one? One. So that's one, two. It's a 5-leaf clover. That's a 5-leaf clover. I feel like I saw another 4-leaf clover. That's another 5-leaf clover right there. That is incredible. Is there another one? That is just crazy. So I just keep my eyes on the ground, and they start to stick out. They start to stick out at you a little bit, and that is something that maybe we might do in the future, is to have some kind of a, not like an Easter egg hunt. We've tried to do that, and I think that we have more people that might show up, but to do maybe a 4-leaf clover find or something in the spring when they start popping. Something, I don't know, it's just something different. And I know that they're around, and not that we're breeding them or, just planting 4-leaf clover seeds out all over the place, but they are present. So well, thank you all so much for following, supporting, and sharing what we do with all of the folks in the Fox Valley. And I am going to continue to move these chickens, which I actually made a mistake. Tell you a little bit about that. I had moved the chickens because we had a hip camper that stayed down at our hip camp right back here, and they stayed there Saturday into Sunday, so they left yesterday. But Friday morning I moved that over somewhere over in that area, and while I moved it over there, I let the chickens out, and after I left the chickens out, I had some more honey that was being dropped off from our Brad the beekeeper, and when I went to go pick it up and greet him, I hadn't done anything for the chickens aside from open up the door and let them go, which was the mistake. So half of the chickens made their way back over to this space, and they didn't make their way back to the chicken coop. So for the last 2 nights now, they've been out and about without a home, laying eggs in the ground. This place, we had the owl visited and took out one of the roosters the other night. So it was chaotic. It was looking like we were a hectic farm for this hip camper, which, I don't know, we don't always do everything the easiest way, and not necessarily chaotic, but it is not, we're definitely not a farm that has all of our animals stuck inside of a barn where they are known where they're at, and just, it's not easy that way. We are trying to live with nature, and having an owl visit chickens that don't make their way back into the nesting area or the roosting area at night is part of what happened. So sorry everybody that's going to be short on eggs this week. We were going to be short anyhow, but now it's going to look real bad, and this is part of it. So anyhow, thank you very much for supporting again. We hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.